I'm Lena, and I'm one of the coordinators for the Moon Maidens program, our Young Women's program at Spirit Weavers. And last year at the opening circle, I asked all of you, who here felt that they were celebrated and honored and seen at their threshold from girlhood to womanhood? And out of hundreds of women, 3 women stood up. And you could feel the grief in the collective. And I want to thank you because we are changing this in our lifetimes. And Spirit Weavers is one of the places that we're doing this through our Moon Maidens program for young women age 11 to 15. It's a rites of passage program, and some of the things we focus on are, first of all, supporting a young woman's connection to herself, to her truth, to her intuition, to her clear yes and her clear no. And this is my daughter Naia. And so that shimmering authenticity really comes forth. And from that place of centeredness in oneself, in one's dreams, and even in one's pain. I mean, this all comes up in rites of passage. And things that need to be let go of have a way of making their way to the surface. And part of how that gets to be released is the container of supportive sisters and friends and young women who are also in the same transition that you're in, getting to have these conversations that matter about the changes that are happening in body, mind, and spirit. And sure enough, often it happens that there's a sister who's experienced something that you've also experienced, and getting to feel understood in that way, and that has a way of unlocking and transforming grief and struggles into really food for this next stage of life. We also have the gift of mentorship, having these village aunties, wise, wild, free women who come and offer to these young women maybe something that we didn't receive when we were making our transition into womanhood. So that helps us to know how we want to show up as mentors and as aunties, and to supplement what as mothers we're offering to our daughters, so that we don't have to do it all alone, but we can have the support of a larger village. And so while we're at Spirit Weavers, we form this village. And last year, one of the ways that I got to witness the power, the healing power of our village at Spirit Weavers, women coming together from all over the world, is we collectively made a threshold. And we invited all of you to weave in your prayers and your blessings for the young women. And we invited the mothers, and we had a circle where the mothers got to honor their daughters, and the daughters had a chance to honor their mothers. And from there, the young women formed a procession. It was like a beautiful river, and processed through Spirit Weavers. I'm gonna breastfeed my baby here. And they paused at the threshold, and I was so impressed by their maturity and presence, because they each took their time in setting down what no longer serves them and making an intention or a prayer for their life moving forward. And on the other side of that threshold was a council of grandmothers, of elders, and they gave each young woman a red rose and gave her a big hug and whispered in her ear, and the mothers came up and embraced. And as I looked around, there seemed to be not a dry eye in all of those women gathered. And so many women came up and really shared how healing it was for their inner girl, and that part of them that didn't receive this honoring. So one of the young women afterwards, she said to me, "Lena, I will always remember this. And when I need to find strength, I'm going to think back to this ceremony, and I'm I'm going to remember how loved and supported I am. And so that's really why we're here. That's why we're doing this work, this rites of passage work, is so that these young women can see and feel how important they are, how important their dreams are, that their prayers for this earth and their life are so valued by their family and their community. And not only for the human community, but a big part of rites of passage is the more than human world, and how nature shows up in these ceremonies to reflect these young women back to themselves. So Cedar Bloom is such an incredible place to host this Moon Maidens Rites of Passage program because of the healthy wildness alive in the land there, and the cedar trees. And last year we had deer come so close to us and bring their medicine of gentle kindness and sisterhood, and of course the beautiful river. So this is also a gift back to nature, and nature is such a big part of our ceremony, and we hold our rites of passage in the arms of Mother Earth. So I want to thank you all for how you're showing up for the Maidens at Spirit Weavers, and I'm very much looking forward to coordinating again this year this healing experience for all of us. Thank you so much.